you want to know what's going on in city, or you want to listen to the latest news and gist, no stress, oh, just tune to BGI TV. BGI TV, you're one in a million.
tó o tún kéye káàbọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí lórí ètò ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń lọ tó ń jà wọ́n ìrànyìnrànyìn lórí ètò àwọn gbọ́là ń lọ lórílẹ̀‐èdè wa. ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ló ti ń sọ nọ́ọ̀sì ti fẹ́ gbọ́ kí ni tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ láìpẹ́ láì jìnnà ni wọ́n sọ pé Jagabam wọ́n ní àwọn ló kàn, wọ́n láwọn níjọba Nàìjíríà kan wọ́n nìkan gbé wá. wọ́n dẹ̀ bú ṣe gàdà, wọ́n ní Shetima ní àwọn mú bíi running mate. Gbogbo Nàìjíríà ló sọ pé rárá kò jọ, pàápàá jùlọ àwọn tí wọ́n jẹ́ opposition, tí wọ́n jẹ́ PDP àtàwọn Labour àtàwọn pátì míì ni wọ́n ní kò jọ rárá o. àmọ́ tó bèbí nínú jẹ́ ni pé tá a bá yọwọ́ Tinubu nìkan àti PDP àti Labour, kò sẹ́ni tó mú Yorùbá mọ́ wípé kó jẹ́ running mate òun. lélẹ̀ tó fi yé wa pé Ọlọ́run ò ní járí o, a máa gba nǹkan wa pẹ̀lú ògo Ọlọ́run. ṣùgbọ́n tó fi yé mi pé tí Yorùbá nation bá bọ́ sí before 2023, tí Tinubu ò bá di president ní 2023, kò sí nǹkan kan fún Yorùbá. bí Yorùbá ò bá wọlé Fúlàní á wọlé, bí Ìgbò bá wọlé Fúlàní wà ń bẹ̀, bí Haúsá bá wọlé Fúlàní wà ń bẹ̀. Yorùbá wọ́n pàkì àwa sẹ́yìn. kódà tí Tinubu bá wọlé Fúlàní wà ń bẹ̀, torí pé Ìgbò ó mú Fúlàní, Yorùbá ó mú Fúlàní running mate. Fúlàní fúnra rẹ̀ tó tún sì kẹta òun mú Ìgbò. bí Yorùbá bá sọ pé àwọn fẹ́ lọ, wàláhì wọ́n correct. ìdí ni pé kò sí solution ní ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá ju ẹ̀rọ fún wa láyè. ó yẹ jẹ́ àwò báwo ni ti Yorùbá ò ní ṣe gbé ní 2023. mọ̀gbà tí wọ́n ti gbá Yorùbá sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ láti ìgbà tán Ọbásanjọ́ ti ṣe, tó ti kó bẹ́ẹ̀ ní 2007. di bá ṣe ń sọ yìí, ìran Yorùbá kan tó débẹ̀ mọ́. before Ọbásanjọ́ tó di civilian president, Ọbásanjọ́ kan ṣòyìn náà ló jẹ́ kí Yorùbá máa wà nú àkọọ́lẹ̀ báwa náà ṣò lóríire ní Nàìjíríà. bó bá wá rí bẹ́ẹ̀, wọ́n ti change Yorùbá. wọ́n wá oríṣiríṣi àwọn èèyàn wá fọ̀rọ̀ wá Shetima lẹ́nu wò. Adams Oshiomhole wọ́n fọ̀rọ̀ wá lẹ́nu wò. bàbá èmi ló kàn, wọ́n fọ̀rọ̀ wọ́n náà lẹ́nu wò. Yorùbá ní ẹni tó wọnú àmù tó lóhùn rí eégún, ó ṣàní torí. ó ní tí Jagabam náà lóhùn rí kó tó lọ mú Shetima tí gbogbo ayé láwọn ò fẹ́. ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń lọ tá a wá ń ṣe lọ́wọ́ yìí, a wá ṣe àkójọpọ̀ kí ni àti Tinubu o, àti Shetima o, àti Adams Oshiomhole o, àtàwọn ọ̀dọ̀gbọ́n tí wọ́n jókòó lórí ọ̀rọ̀ kí náà sọ. ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn la á fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ gbọ́. ó la ṣe mú ètò yìí wá. bó tiẹ̀ ti wò jẹ́ pé gbogbo tó ń sọ yẹn òkun àwa kan, ṣùgbọ́n àwọn tó kàn káwọn náà fi tí wọ́n gbọ́. àti wípé kí ni tí bàbá rò tó rí lọ́bẹ̀ kó tó wà ru ọwọ́. ẹ̀jẹ̀ àjọ̀gbọ́n máa fi yín lẹ̀ pápápá ní fídíò ilé, torí pé ètò tuntun ni, ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń lọ la pè é. bá ti máa mú wá lẹ́ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan rèé, tá a bá ti rí àwọn tó jẹ́ pé tá a lè pè ní current affairs, ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń lọ, ètò tuntun ni. ó lè jẹ́ lórí ètò, ó lè jẹ́ lórí sport, ó lè jẹ́ lórí nǹkan èyíkéyìí tó bá sá ti jẹ́. ṣùgbọ́n lórí eléyìí, ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń jà ràn yín lẹ̀ lórí pé àmúṣẹ̀tìmá òní tá a fẹ́ tá a gbé wáyé. Ọ̀yá o, ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ dé ilé agbára lọ́hùn ká jọ lọ gbọ́ kí làwọn mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta sọ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ bí wọ́n ṣe mú Shetima. Ẹ jẹ́ fi yín lẹ̀ lórí ètò náà. Orúkọ mi ò yí padà o, Aláwìyé Adébáyọ̀ Sàbíọ̀ bàbá tíṣà lábẹ́òkúta, ẹni tí gbogbo yín mọ̀ sí bàbá gbàgede mọ̀. Ó yẹ ẹjẹ́ àlọ́ wò láyọ̀.
How well do you want to test my tolerance? That's it. So, obvious. So, it's clear that we look forward to a day in the history of this country when it could be Christian ticket. We are not going to cabinet meeting to preach sermons and taking a Bible and Quran. We are going to be discussing Nigeria progress program that will develop the country. We want a capacity of individual. We want somebody that is able to think out of box and bring innovation, creativity. Remove us from the great potential to the real achievement. That's what we want. That's what Nigerian public want. You know, I didn't ask you to follow me to the mosque. Voluntary. I'm begging everybody to don't disturb your church. I am the governor that returned all the mission schools. When I was paying examination fees, the WAEC and all NECO fees of these children, I didn't look at their religion. You believe that they are entitled, they have the right to the education, and poverty might prevent them from, put them in disadvantaged position. They might drop out. Instead of that, pay their school fees so that they don't drop out of learning. We don't look at religion. One pope, one position, they put it. Since Shibadu is a pastor, he destroyed Nigeria. He did it. And when the race started for who will be the nominee, and he got in there, we didn't fight. We didn't exchange blows. We didn't even exchange hostile words. That's the Nigeria of, patriotic individuals and people that must emerge from us. We must be patriotic enough to look at the character, the content, and the capacity of individual.
With whom they profess the same faith. And in this country, sir, if we are as religious as we are pretending to be, this country could not be in this mess. Religion has become a body of rituals devoid of practical value. We have God on our lips and table in our hearts. As the Christians in Borno, our brothers and sisters, they were born, bred, buttered, and toasted right in the heart of Borno. Are we going to barbecue them? Are we going to drive them into the lecture? We have a moral obligation to provide a level playing field. This is why I made deliberate efforts, affirmative action, to see that in every initiative, we make sure that the Christian community, not even the Christian community, I don't even subscribe to this notion of settlers and so on, non-indigens and so on. We have a very vibrant Igbo community in Maiduguri. One of my special advisors on community relations is an Igbo man from Anambra State. One of my senior special assistants, the closest to me, one of my closest senior special assistants, is an Urobo man.
Really?
Yes. And he was born, bred, buttered, and trusted right in the heart of Maiduguri. He speaks Hausa better than I do. So I believe that we have to run an inclusive government if we want people to have a sense of belonging and to contribute their quota to the development of our state. And in Borno, especially in southern Borno, most families are a mix-up. You will find Muslims and Christians
in the same family.
In the same family.
Husband and wife in the same family.
Professing different faiths. The current chairman, Bishop Mohammed Naga, is from a Muslim family.
Yes,
his father is a Muslim.
He's a Khan man.
Yes, he's the Khan chairman.
He has Muhammad.
You know, and he has Muhammad.
Yeah.
His predecessor, his father is a Muslim, so also is his mother. And it might interest you. In his house, where his father stays, there is provision of a Muslim prayer rock and all other accessories for his father to practice his religion. And most importantly, let us admit that the Boko Haram came out of the Muslim fold. They never came out of the Christian faith. And they went about on a burning spree, burning churches and mosques. But I felt compelled to reveal all the churches destroyed by Boko Haram in southern Borno. Was it their own fault? These are people who are even in the best of times, the poorest of the poor. They saved over a period of 5 years, 10 years to build a place of worship. And these lunatics came and burned those places of worship. So we have, leadership, I believe, requires fairness, requires justice, requires equity, requires inclusivity, and whatever price, believe me, at whatever price, I am willing to provide fair
brotherhood or sisterhood, because there are some ladies here, so that we can move the nation forward. And to my colleagues, once again, we are a real club of less than 40, 50 members in a nation of 200 million people. We are governors not because of our pedigree, certainly not because of our intellectual prowess. Most certainly, we are leaders, not because of our political acumen, certainly not. Power is one of God's gifts to humanity, and whether we like it or not, we will spend more years of our lives outside power than in power. The sooner we come to this reality, to the realization that power is very ephemeral, the better for all of us. And believe me, Your Excellencies, time is of essence. We should make haste. We are going to commit blunders, so be it. I would rather make blunders in a haste than not to act at all. I want you to stand with one another, to stand by one another, to stand for the Nigerian nation. I will leave you with the words of Pastor Martin Neumoller, a Lutheran priest in Germany, who at the height of the Nazi persecution, he made this very poignant comment. He said, they came for the socialists, and I did one of God's gifts to humanity. And whether we like it or not, they came for the trade unionists, and I did not talk because I was not a trade unionist. They came for the Jews, and I did not talk because I was not a Jew. They came for me, and there was no one to speak for me. Let's work for the Nigerian nation. Let's foster peace, unity, and stability of the Nigerian.
All right, welcome back, and thank you for staying with us. We may be old, but then a test for moments like this. In the midst of ongoing criticisms in some quarters, while some Nigerians are also commending qualities of Shetima, downplaying what others call primordial sentiments and but rather focus on integrity, competence, and character.
Yes, it's, you know, a philosopher said time is a gentleman. And I like the lines from that philosopher so much. Time is a gentleman. Time has a way of healing wounds. Time has a way of exposing not just falsehood but absurdities. We've had all kinds of things since Ashwaju picked Shetima as his running mate. Some even published a picture claiming that he was eating in, literally in the same plate with Boko Haram members, you know, and all kinds of things. We're in a political season, people want to gain political advantage.
Absolutely.
But the truth is, when you work for the people, it remains hedged in their minds. The CAN chairman who testified to the good things that Shetima did for the Christian community in Borno State is still alive. And we've seen Shetima say here that he rebuilt churches that Boko Haram destroyed. As far as he's concerned, the Christians are not an inferior group in his state, and he did his best for them in terms of their welfare and all that. So when people listen to him, even galvanizing fellow governors that, look, we need to work for our people, we need to move quickly to bring dividends of democracy to our people. When people listen to him talking to the interviewer and recalling what he did for the Christian community, it helps them to form an opinion away from the maddening crowd, an opinion that reflects the true character and disposition of the man that we're talking about. Politics, the political season will go, but one thing will stay constant, and that is the truth. That is the truth.
All right, Adekunle.
Yeah, there's one thing I like in Shetima, and I don't know, maybe people have talked about it. You see, when you see a leader who has vision, you see, the best time that some of us normally, you know, when they are leaving power, if you know the crisis and the intrigues, you know, that converged when he was, you know, living as governor of Borno State, and how the current governor emerged, I think I see some attributes of Ashwaju in him.
Okay.
You see, the man that is the governor today wasn't, if in the popular balance of politics, he won't be the candidate of the governor. There are some of the commissioners, there are many people who are close, but the governor was observing there is one young man who was always working very hard, took this job of caring for IDPs, people who are displaced because of Boko Haram, insurgency crisis. That the man was working his heart out, working tirelessly, and all avenues to make money. He didn't bother. And at the right time, he said, no, even though I love you to succeed me, there's somebody who is more qualified. By the time that was done, is Borno State not reaping the dividends today? When you look at the way Ashwaju, one of the best decisions Ashwaju has taken in his life, in public life, was that he was able to shun so many things by.
The world has moved from the agricultural age to the industrial age, and now we are in the knowledge-driven age.
That's right.
In other climes, people are talking of nanotechnology,
That's it.
of biotechnology, of big data, of artificial intelligence.
That's right.
Just 2 days ago, the American web brother also were showing pictures of Mars and other galaxies. While we are busy here talking about herdsmen, sedentary farmers clash,
That's right.
talking about rural banditry or kidnapping, battling with Boko Haram, and talking about religious mix. I'm quite delighted that the professional forum is made up of accomplished Nigerians of different backgrounds from different walks of life. The task before us is to transform this nation into a just and fair society where everyone will have a sense of belonging. We are a kaleidoscope of colors.
That's true.
We should learn to accommodate and embrace each other. There is this quote about a young girl, very famous quote, where she was asked, are you a Christian, a Hindu, or a Muslim? Her response was poetic. She said, I am hungry.
That's right.
Hunger knows no religion. Insecurity knows no ethnicity. Poor infrastructure knows no region. This is a great nation in change.
That's true.
And I want to commend you. I want to identify with you
Thank you very much.
on behalf of my principal. And I want to reassure Nigerians. They are accusing him of an attempt at Islamizing Nigeria.
That's true.
Has he started with Islamizing his own family? Ashwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, yes, his running mate might be a Muslim, but his life mate of over 40 years is not only a Christian, but a pastor of the Redeemed Christian Church of God.
That's right.
He did not impose his own Islamic faith on his own children. He was the first governor to hand over mission schools back to their owners. He has groomed people from all walks of life. Right now, one of his commissioners is from Katsina State.
Yes.
One of the commissioners in Lagos State is from Delta State.
That's true.
There is a special advisor of Igbo extraction in Lagos State.
That's true.
So I think we have to look at the larger picture. And I'm quite delighted that the professional forum are solidly behind the APC, behind Ashwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Thank you, sir.
We'll reach out to all tendencies. As Charles Prechwitz Scott said, neither in what it gives, nor in what it does not give, nor in its mode of presentation, must the unclouded face of truth suffer wrong. Comment is free, but facts are sacred. People can distort facts, embellish realities,
That's true.
but truth shall always triumph over falsehood.
Right.
He is a very decent man, committed to the Nigeria project. We will support him in whatever way we can so that we push the nation to a higher pedestal. I want to thank you most sincerely for this visit. My man was looking at the watch, but these professional forums are equally very important. We can reach his house in the next 10 minutes, so there is no cause for alarm. I want to once again thank you. We'll keep on the engagement. This is just the beginning.
Yes.
Thank you very much for that. First, as a former colleague, I do remember even the formation of APC, the final meeting of the progressive governors, from APC, once from CPC and AMPP, we met in Maiduguri, and he hosted us. After the meeting, he insisted that we must convince Nigerians that there's life in Maiduguri. Because at that time, people may have forgotten, the dead president was afraid to travel to Maiduguri, and not many Nigerians were able or willing to go to Maiduguri because they thought that everybody there, I mean, the whole state had been taken over by Boko Haram. We went to the market. Shetima led us to the market. Popular market, I'm not talking of organized department store, where they sell all sorts of things, one of the largest markets in Maiduguri. I mean, that is a show of courage. And he said, we need to help him let Nigerians know that there's still life in Maiduguri. And they are determined to fight and defeat Boko Haram and consign it to the dustbin of history. Even though the only limitation he had is that he is not the commander-in-chief, and there is limit to what a governor can do. And like you rightly recalled, when one of the newspapers, I don't remember exactly now, listed about 10 governors for award, and I had the privilege of making a comment. In the presence of these other governors, I said, in my opinion, the one that is the most deserving of this award is Governor Shetima, on account of what I have seen. I mean, as a governor, I have no business flattering another governor. You know, there's nothing I needed from him. But truth be told, even governor not facing security challenges, they find one reason or the other to explain their failure. And here is a governor who, in spite of those challenges, is able to demonstrate, commission major infrastructural programs, devote resources to building schools, devote resources to building houses, to resettle those areas that have been recovered from Boko Haram, and insisting that Borno will be back on its feet in spite of the activities of these people. I've also watched his comments on these matters some 5 years ago, and I think it was you, Omoshola, who said that program. And if you watch that interview, you know that we are talking of a man who passionately believes about Nigeria. But let's not just limit the discussion to the question of Shetima. The issue is, what are the fears of those who are making this comment? Oh, I have read of some people saying that this is part of the plan to Islamize Nigeria. The candidate himself, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as he Islamized his house, his home, his family members, his wife is a Christian. Not just a Christian, he's a pastor or a deaconess. While other governors struggle to go back to National Assembly after their tenure as governors, Asiwaju asked his wife to go to the Senate. So even for those who talk about gender balancing, Asiwaju has led the way. So I think it is, for me, I've told people, even yesterday I had a extensive conversation with people, I said, this is the first indicator that if elected, Asiwaju can be trusted to take those tough decisions. Nigeria will move away from the cycle, the vicious cycle we are in, if we want to get the politics right and get the economics wrong. It is okay for those who live on religion to make it as an issue. And when I look back, I ask myself, when we had Christian days of Awolowo and the days of Shagari, I mean, people agreed that Nigeria was doing better, that there were more issues. Some talk about Green Revolution, others talk about free education, etc., etc. But beginning with the time when we bring in these religious issues, everything has to be balanced. Ethnicity, religion, and some other primordial sentiment. I'm not sure how helpful these are.
All right. Comrade Oshiomhole, let me
Are you
also
hearing me?
ask.
Yes, we're hearing you.
Yes. We heard all your points, and it was also instructive for me, talking about the 2017 video you mentioned. We showed it here during the show yesterday, and that video also trended during the most part of Wednesday. But when you weigh this on one hand, when you look at how a 5-year-old video would even still be a thing of discussion now, a thing of debate as to Mr. Shetima's alleged links with Boko Haram, and whether he will be able to bring in, the achievements he made in curtailing Boko Haram, in giving the Christians in his state a sense of belonging. How do you weigh this back and forth, the accusations as against the man, Kashim Shetima, that you know? Comrade Oshiomhole, are you there?
In my view, at this time, I told a journalist yesterday, I said, I'm shocked that if you watch television, so many hours and airtime have been devoted to discussing Christian, Muslim. Not sufficient time has been devoted to discussing the fact that, as we speak, university students of the poor are at home, and they are likely to lose a whole one-year calendar. Not for the first time. This has been the issue, other recurrent issues, even under the military government. So that the ruling class have managed to downplay these issues because they have found private solutions for their own children. These are the things that should engage Nigerians. And I'm troubled that even at this time when both Christian and Muslim poor are united in poverty, those who are seeking political office indulge themselves in balancing religion and balancing ethnicity and balancing all the dysfunctional primordial sentiment. Nigeria did better when these were never issues. When has a religion took the center stage in our political discourse? For me, there has to be a courageous person, and as well you are shown that he is one, that will take religion to where it belongs. Let the Khan manage the business of the church, and the JNI, Jamaat National Islam, let them manage the business of the Muslims, and allow government to govern for the whole of Nigerians, including to the benefit of non-believers. So, but to put the religion as a key issue, is that really the explanation for our problem? If we all we build church, the other day one emir said something, that those who are contributing money to build religious houses, if they spend half of their resources to building more schools, Nigeria may do even better than we are doing currently. At a time when the world is talking about technology, we are talking about a knowledge-driven world. Some people want to do as if the challenge is about a religious-driven world. Now, there is no evidence that, if you look at the statistics, I guess that Nigeria may well boast or post the most attractive statistics in terms of per capita. If you look at the number of churches per capita or number of mosques per capita, what has this translated to? Given the level of criminality, of fraud, of corruption in our system, do they reflect a society that is so religious? So I see a lot of hypocrisy. In my view, only God knows who is a believer. The fact that the man goes to church tells you little or nothing about his beliefs. The fact that the man sleeps in the mosque is not enough evidence that he's a Muslim. Because we have seen people who go to the mosque to steal people's shoes, just like I have seen people who went to the church to steal people's handset. Those are not Christians. Those are not Muslims. So we do need to interrogate whether people are not now using religion as a cover, to cover up some of the things they do that are inelegant. For me, let me ask a question. Our presidential candidate is a happily married man. He has demonstrated not just religious tolerance, respect for people's choice of their faith by the fact that his wife is a Christian. This must be played up. How many of our leaders, even Christians who are Catholic, who will allow themselves to marry a lady who is, for example, deeper life, or vice versa? That's the level of intolerance of some people. So how can a man who has not Islamized his family, who has allowed freedom of worship within his own household, how can anybody who has some fear who has respect for truth and fear of God, suggest that with such a person as president of Nigeria, that he will Islamize Nigeria? When we take off to go to Dubai and go to other places, including many Nigerians I know who have been to Rwanda recently, they come back to say Rwanda things are working, the new president is wonderful, you can't talk about ethnicity anymore. And when they finish, they ask you, where are you from? By the way, we have to put this in out. If I have my way, we will delete all of these things in our government documents. Your state of origin, your religion, and if you like, even your gender. So that people can get what they deserve, not on the basis of their faith. I have said to some people, if you do not believe in God and you end up in hell, it is your burden. If I believe in God and I'm guided by the Bible or the Quran, and I love my neighbor as myself, and I end up in heaven, it is my privilege. But when it comes to public policy, for God's sake, let us have a robust debate on how to put an end to our educational system, how to ensure that, the money voted, the law on universal basic education, which says that basic education is compulsory, that we find the political will to implement it.
BGI TV yìí mo fẹ́ máa wò, ọ̀rọ̀ tó jẹ tí ń gbèsè mo fẹ́ gbọ́, ètò lóríṣiríṣi wọ́n wà lọ́lọ́kan òjọ̀kan, ìròyìn tó kojú òṣùwọ̀n àtàwọn ọ̀rọ̀ àgbọ́ fi kọ́gbọ́n, eré wọlé fún tẹ̀rù tọmọ tèwe tàgbà ẹ má fi para. BGI TV mo fẹ́ máa wò, ọ̀rọ̀ tó jẹ tí ń gbèsè mo fẹ́ gbọ́, ètò lóríṣiríṣi wọ́n wà lọ́lọ́kan òjọ̀kan, ìròyìn tó kojú òṣùwọ̀n àtàwọn ọ̀rọ̀ àgbọ́ fi kọ́gbọ́n, eré wọlé fún tẹ̀rù tọmọ tèwe tàgbà ẹ má fi para. Àdànà kú kọjá mọ́rí nǹkan fèrè, bàbá rere káwí parí. BGI TV, we are the pace setters. Bàbá gbàgede ìmọ̀ tẹlifíṣọ̀n station tí dòde.
Iléeṣẹ́ amóhùnmáwòrán tó mọ bó ṣe ń lọ, tó ní ìròyìn kọ́ńbọ̀kì tó jẹ́ yàjóyàjó, ìròyìn àti ìsọfúnni àtìgbàdégbà, àwọn ètò tó ké pọ́pọ́ filẹ̀ má yí kúò ń bẹ̀, má gbé kúò ń bẹ̀, máa jẹ̀gbádùn ẹ̀ lọ. BGI TV, bàbá gbàgede ìmọ̀ TV. Èdùà òkè ló dirí ẹwà fákùkọ o, bí ọ̀kín bá tú ìyẹ́ ẹ̀ díẹ̀ ẹwà rẹ̀ àkàlẹ̀ àkà oko. Ẹ kàn sí ẹ̀ka ìpolówó ọjà wa láti bá wa dòwò pọ̀ lórí +234 70 38 22 6160. Fún àwọn tí ń bẹ lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà 070 38 22 6160. BGI TV, bàbá gbàgede ìmọ̀ TV, ọ̀gá ni kọ́ń láwùjọ òkúta.
Bàbá gbàgede ìmọ̀ tẹlifíṣọ̀n station tí dòde.